You are now listening to the Q&E Podcast.
Is this what you want? Huh? Is this what you want? Well, come and get it, goddammit!
What's up, everybody? You're listening to the Q&E Podcast, and you're here with your boy Q Hicks right now. And I got Edgar on the other line. Edgar, tell the people what's good.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Q&E Podcast. We got a lot coming for y'all today, man. We got Game 3 of the NBA Finals. Boston takes the lead 2-1. So we're going to dive into this series a little bit more. We got some NFL news for y'all, and y'all know we coming with the entertainment, current events, past the aux. Hey, it's a jam-packed episode today. Let's go ahead.
And let's start it off with the NBA Finals, because that is the biggest sports news that is happening right now. And it has been one hell of a series with the Celtics still in game 1, the Warriors bouncing back in game 2, and the Celtics once again still in game 3 and starting to dominate in the fourth quarter. And we always see that the Warriors, the third quarter is their quarter. They always bounce back. Even last night, we see that they were down by like 10 at halftime. They ended up taking a lead at one point in the third quarter. But I think that physicality of the Celtics is really weighing on them when we see fourth quarters, because they're not just winning fourth quarters. Like, they're winning big, like 40-16 in games 1 and games 3. We've seen it happen. Game 2 was kind of a blowout by the third. But do you think this Celtics team is really starting to wear on the Warriors? And do you see that continuing to an NBA Finals championship?
I think so. And the fact that Draymond Green isn't getting his way in a lot of these matchups so far from games 1 to 3, like it's showing. The fact that 2 out of 3 of these games, he's had single-digit nights. Like, that can't happen if you're the Warriors. I get it. Draymond Green isn't one of the main scorers, but he's somebody that, okay, we get it. You're the fire of this team, but we're going to need you to step up too. And Jordan Poole, as phenomenal as he's been throughout the playoffs, as phenomenal he's been for the Warriors throughout the regular season, I'm more eager to give him a bailout than Draymond Green. Green, you've been here before. Like, you know what it takes. You know what's required of you in these moments. Draymond Green not showing up 2 out of 3 of these games is the reason why the Warriors are down 2-1 right now.
I don't think that's the reason they're down 2-1, though, bro. I think Draymond is getting a little too much blame, because he hasn't played well in those 2 games. But it's not like it's unlike Draymond to have single-digit nights. We've heard jokes about him averaging triple singles. So we've seen like Draymond have these type of nights, and they come out and they blow teams out. They're winning games, but it's because this team is bodying up with them physically. Grant Williams isn't getting bullied. Like, usually when people go up against Draymond, they are intimidated. The Celtics are not backing down from him, I think, is the biggest key. They are going right up to him. The Jaylen Browns, the Marcus Smarts, even the Tatums are not backing down. Usually when you see players go up against them, they back down, and usually that's why they don't get to the rim. They don't get to their spots as much. But we're seeing this Celtics team do whatever they want on offense. They get into the rack. They get into their spots. And I think that I have to give a lot of credit to the Miami Heat for pushing them this far, because I don't think the Warriors have the same ability defensively like the Heat do. The Heat can match them physically with their physicality. I don't think the Warriors can, and that's why we've seen that series get pushed out to 7. But that's why I'm kind of scared for the Warriors at this point, because you have to match their energy, bro. That's what's missing. That's why you're coming up short in these fourth quarters, because you're not matching their energy. If you do that, then we can see this series start to turn around. But if Draymond doesn't like that fire under Steph, Clay, Poole, all of them have to come with that certain energy, like, okay, we're finna run in and we're finna punch them right in the mouth. We seeing them come in and they just lay it back like this is just a regular game, bro. This is the NBA Finals.
Because offensively, neither team has that big of an edge. Like, even in the blowout wins, the margins aren't that far off. Like, the 3-point percentages, the field goal percentages, they're really neck and neck in a lot of these games. And honestly, games 1 through 3, it's really been bucket for bucket. There have been moments where there's been stretches, but for majority of the games that we've seen so far, like, it's really been a close-knit game in games 1 through 3. And I think it's, like you said, the physicality, okay, if we're going bucket for bucket, it's really going to come down to who starts missing first. And I think Golden State has been in predicaments where it's like, hey, we're not hitting some of our shots that we usually hit, and we can't stop them when they're on the offensive, because Boston has been getting a lot of calls going their way. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care for the stretches that the Warriors get calls and Boston doesn't. Boston has been able to play just as physical as they want this entire series so far. So that, on top of the fact that this isn't really too much of a blowout series, that's going to play in Boston's favor, because like people have been saying, when the Warriors beat you, like when they handle you, it's a 20-point difference. When the Celtics handle you, hey, it might only be a 9 to 10 point difference for real. But that 9 to 10 weighs just as much on you as a Warriors 20-point blowout. And I think that's what's playing in Boston's favor right now, that they can keep these games as close as they're keeping them.
And I think Boston is doing a good job. And they did the same thing against Miami of just letting one man. They're limiting everything to one man. They're funneling everything to one man. Like they did the same thing with Jimmy Butler. Like Jimmy Butler was going to be the only person to beat Boston. And I think it's the same way in this series where Steph Curry is going to be the only person that beats us. Because even when Clay goes off, it's like, damn, they still lost by 12. Even when Wig had a good night, he had 18. It's like, damn, they still lost by 12. So even when they have good nights, Curry had 30-something last night, they still lost by double digits. And I think they're just funneling everything through Curry, just saying like, yeah, you got to create everything. Everything is going to come off your gravity and off your shot making. But we're not going to allow everybody else to really flourish off of it. A couple people got off last night, and you still seeing that it wasn't enough. And I think that tells you how much the defense has to step up for Golden State, because they're allowing way too many easy baskets for the Celtics. But I think that tells you how the Celtics are really game planning as well. Like, yeah, Steph, you can get your buckets, but everybody else, for the most part, is not going to eat. They're limiting Jordan Poole. They're limiting Draymond. They're limiting these players.
And you would think the second unit for Golden State would be kind of like a what's the word I want to use? A crutch for them when they fall into these moments. You know, whether Jordan Poole is coming off the bench or he's starting, you know, I feel like a lot of these players that we've been looking at throughout the playoffs that have come in clutch for the Warriors aren't doing that right now, because Boston's bench, they're outscoring them in every game so far, whether it's only by 2 or 3 points. Boston's bench has outscored the Warriors bench.
And honestly, it hasn't been that close. It's been, exactly. I don't even go by the points. Derek White himself has purely dominated this series, bro. His playmaking, him and Robert Williams have dominated this series. Him containing Steph on the defensive end, as well as hitting big shots on the offensive end. He really started to catch fire toward the back end of that Heat series, and he has carried it into the NBA Finals. That's one thing I did not anticipate for it to continue, and he has just thoroughly outplayed Jordan Poole, which I just completely didn't expect. Y'all heard me last week. I thought Jordan Poole was going to win Finals MVP because I knew that they were going to have somebody else beat them. Boston was going to have somebody else on the Warriors beat them. I thought it was going to be Poole, but sometimes Poole just looks like the lights are too bright for him at this moment. Obviously, he's only 22, 23. He's still a young player. This is his first Finals. I thought he was going to be ready for it. But sometimes when I watch the game, it's just the mistakes that he makes is not very mature of his. It's not really mature of him. He's not really seasoned yet to really be in these type of moments, and they play better without him, to be honest. So that mismatch when you talk about bench, Derek White and Jordan Poole, I think hockey shifts the series as well.
Because I don't see the Warriors making any comeback if they go down 3-1. If
they
lose again on Friday, it's a wrap, bro. I don't see them completely changing their game plan. I don't see Steve Kerr making huge adjustments to where they're coming back in when it 3 games in a row at that point. So I don't know. If Boston wins on Friday, it's their series. They might as well go ahead and claim themselves world champions.
But this is the game plan, and I think Boston already had the upper hand going into the series. But so many people, including me, was just saying that the experience of the Warriors was going to be the difference maker when you talk about who's going to win this series. I had this series going to 7. I'm still going to roll with the Warriors just because I'm going to stick with my pick. But I think the Celtics always had the upper hand because they're just so talented. And when they do not turn the ball over, they are so hard to stop. I think we've seen in game 2 when they can be so loose with the rock, that's when they get in trouble. When you get in a up and down race with the Warriors, you lose. Throw the ball. They have under 10 to 12 turnovers. They usually handily beat the team that they're playing against. It was the same way in the Heat series. When they didn't turn the ball over, they won. They blew the Heat out, honestly. And I think it's the same thing. They dictate how this series is going to go. It's not on the Warriors. Yeah, the Warriors can come out and hit the Celtics in the mouth. That's cool. The Celtics can always get back in the game. But as long as the Celtics do not turn the ball over, it's hard to beat that team when you got 2 bucket getters, when you got a shot blocker, when you got a big in Al Horford who can make threes, when you got Derek White off the bench who can guard Steph, when you got a Marcus Smart who's averaging like 18 right now. It's hard to beat that team, bro, especially when it feels like it's Steph by himself a lot of times. Yeah, Klay stepped up last night, but that was just like, damn, that was one game. We played 3. Welcome to the NBA Finals, Klay Thompson, but damn, we needed your plays in game 1 too. So I think Boston really dictate this series. I think we're going to see a big game from Steph in game 4 to have them win it. But if they lose game 4, it's a wrap, bro. I'm going to pick the Warriors, but if they lose this, it's a wrap, bro. Ain't no coming back on Boston.
I'm sticking with Warriors in 6, but like you said, Boston has the upper hand right now. It's their series to lose, and if they can keep it under 15 turnovers in a game, like you said, they're going to control the tempo of the game. They're going to control the lead changes that happen throughout the game because, like you said, to your point, in game 2, they had damn near 20 turnovers. So, of course, like you're not winning that matchup.
Bro, it was the
Warriors
way.
are going to capitalize.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
The least mistakes that you can make against Golden State, the more likely you are to win the game.
And that's any team. Like I said, it was the same thing with Miami. Miami had them turning the ball over in 3 of their wins. That's why Miami won 3 games. When they didn't turn the ball over and when it was nothing but fast pace, they blew Miami out or they beat them. Like, that's the blueprint. As long as they control the rock and don't let the Golden State Warriors turn them over, they have the upper hand, bro, especially when you have 2 prime playmakers in Jaylen Brown and Tatum, bro. It's not like it's on one person's shoulders to take over. It's like, damn, I can get that bit of Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown can hit a clutch shot. Even Marcus Smart hitting clutch shots in this series. So it's a lot of people. And this is why I brought up last week, and I want to talk about it again, why, yeah, Jason Tatum is going to get a lot of credit if they win this finals, bro. But please do not make it seem like he did this shit by himself. When Jaylen Brown is averaging more than him this series and averaged the same as him in the Eastern Conference Finals, I want to give Jaylen Brown a lot of credit because I feel like people are still sleeping on him after what he's been doing. If we being honest, when we talk about consistency, Jaylen Brown has been their best player this entire playoffs. If we being honest, he has been their best player. Jason Tatum is the more talented. He's going to get the more credit because he is the best player on this team. He is the leader of this team. But who has been playing better in the playoffs? It has been Jaylen Brown. And I think he is the leader for Finals MVP if they win. And I think he's on that trajectory right now. He is playing like a dog. He is really coming to play every game. It was in the Heat series, and we're seeing it once again in the NBA Finals.
I think if Boston wins, they'll give Finals MVP to Tatum. I think just because Tatum has the better storyline, and you know the whole
when a young team,
the whole
like this,
doing it for Kobe thing. The whole doing it for Kobe thing, wearing the Kobe wristband and everything.
Man,
and all that.
hell no, bro.
No, I'm telling you, that's all gonna play a part in him getting Finals MVP because of the way he is the leader of the team. Like you said, he's never really had a terrible night so far in any statistical category in this series so far. So
I mean, game 1, he had 13 assists, but game 1 was bad.
As long as he don't just completely lay an egg throughout this series, I feel like he's gonna.
But Brown has clearly been the best player. When you talk about production and keeping them in games, he was the reason they were. He's the reason they won game 1
I'm not denying any of that. They're gonna give it to Tatum.
We can't do that, bro. I've seen Andre Iguodala win a Finals MVP. They not going off storyline, bro. If they was going off storyline, they would have gave it to Steph. They gonna give it to whoever
they gave Iguodala that.
I'm telling you what they gonna do,
Finals
bro.
MVP because they didn't want to give Steph a chance to pass LeBron in any statistical category.
I'm telling you what they gonna do, bro. Like I said, if everything remains the same, if Tatum has a couple of huge games where Brown isn't playing as well, then obviously that's a different story. But how Jaylen Brown is playing right now, he is the reason they won game 1. He played well in game 2. And he came out and had 20 in the first quarter last night. Like I said, he's the aggressor. And I feel like he started to become the leader where they follow behind him. Because like I told you last week, Tatum is kind of up and down where he can go on runs where it's like, damn, he got 25 in the first half. and then he goes through lulls where he stands in the corner where it's like, damn, is Tatum even playing right now? But I think it's something about Brown where defensively, playmaking, and also just leading the team, they follow his energy, bro. And you seen it last night. He jumped on the Warriors' head. And it was like, oh, the Celtics was rolling after that, bro. So it looks like they follow behind him. Like I said, Tatum is going to get the credit, bro. But please do not sleep on this man, Jaylen Brown, when he's putting up just as good of stats as this man. And just don't act like it's just Tatum doing it by himself. Because I feel like that's going to be the narrative, bro. When we looking at a great team.
That can't be the narrative.
We're looking at a great team, bro.
If anybody says Tatum did any of this by himself, they straight up lying, bro. It's clickbait at that point because we've been talking about how this whole team has played a huge part. We've been talking about Robert Williams for like half of the playoffs when it comes to the Celtics. So we can't go from that to saying, damn, Tatum damn near did this by himself. No, we can't let that ride, bro. We can't let that ride. Al Horford literally dropped a 30-piece in the playoffs. Like, we're not going to sit here and say Tatum did this.
That's what I'm saying, bro. This is a great team, bro. And this is why I say, if everything remains the same, everybody is going to make their tweaks and improvements, man. But the Celtics are a young team, bro. Even Grant Williams is only, 23? You got him coming off the bench. You still going to have the same team next year. Everybody is re-signed. I'm pretty sure they're going to re-sign Al Horford. It's like this team is going to be in the way for a long time, bro. And I'm telling you, bro, Jason Tatum and Brown, because I think Tatum is obviously going to get better the more years he gets, where it's going to become it's going to become a bigger a bigger gap between him and Brown. But I think right now it's very close, bro, where it's like it's really 1A, 1B type shit right now, bro. I know Tatum gonna get the credit
every other night.
Exactly.
Every other night.
Like I said, that's the only thing I'm trying to say, bro. Where it's just not Tatum, bro. It's Brown too. Brown give you the buckets. And it was the same thing in the conference finals, bro. And it was the same thing in that Bucks series where Tatum had his game where he was dropping 47 in one game. But it was Brown's consistency throughout this whole playoffs that I think they follow behind his lead. I really believe that, bro. I really believe that. And speaking of the other side of the coin, you already talked about Draymond, but I've been hearing some wild shit about Draymond. I'm hearing a lot of people say that, oh, he been on that podcast too much. That's why he ain't playing well. And that's the reason why he playing like shit. Oh, he worried about the media. He worried about this. He worried about that. That's why he playing like shit. So it's like, damn, why are the media turning on Draymond like this right now when y'all was just loving him for the same shit that he was doing last series? Now y'all hate him. Y'all think he can't do podcasts. Now y'all saying, oh, this is the reason he playing trash. Like, what's good with the spin? What's good with the media spin? That shit crazy, bro.
Man, Draymond ain't doing nothing different than what he's been doing this whole playoff run.
That shit is wild to me, bro.
It's just they're about to lose now, so it's like, hey, that's a distraction. You don't need to be doing that no more. Oh, it wasn't a distraction when we was sweeping finals and we was beating all these other teams. So I don't know.
That shit is crazy how people will find any excuse, bro. It's okay to say somebody just did not play well. Draymond has not played well, and that's okay to say. But to blame him for podcasting, saying his podcast is the reason, some shit that he does 30 minutes out of his day is the reason that he's playing terribly. Y'all just grasping for straws at that point, looking for excuses for Draymond, bro. Calm down. I think Draymond will play better, and I think he will raise the intensity of this team, and I think he will raise the intensity of himself as well to be better. When he sees opportunities to score, not from the three-point line, obviously, but just openings where Steph's gravity, two people are going to go to Steph. Go score, bro. Make some plays for yourself. That's what you're known for. Continue to do that. I don't think Draymond has to do anything outside of his game. Like everybody is saying, everybody like, oh, Draymond got to score 10 plus points now. Or Draymond got to do this. He got to score this amount of points. That's never been Draymond's game. I think he just has to raise the intensity of the team while doing everything else that he does well.
I think he has to get to a point in this series specifically. He has to get to a point where he's scoring more, just because we see the fact that it don't matter if Steph got 30 and Clay got 25 if they're still going to lose by 10 to 12 points. That's where I'm looking at Draymond like, no, bro, 2-point nights, single point nights like this is no, bro, that we can't continue to let Draymond have single point nights. And Steph and Clay are doing what they're supposed to do.
But we've seen this before, though, bro. It's not like this is the first time this has happened, or this isn't a regular thing. It's a regular thing that he's in single digits. It's a regular thing. But usually, this is what I say, and this is the difference between this series and all the series in the past. His stat line could have been the same, but his defensive impact, I think, has been the biggest hit than his offense. The offense is doing well. Honestly, they're scoring enough points to win games. Klay Thompson and Steph are scoring enough points. Wig is scoring enough points. Defensively, this team is not playing well. The Boston Celtics are getting where they want too easy, bro. They're getting to the rack. They're getting to their spots. They're getting open threes. I think that's the biggest thing you could put on Draymond. You have to raise your team's intensity on that end. Because offensively, y'all are scoring enough. You have to put your foot down defensively. You're the best defender of this era, Draymond. You have to step up to the plate. You got to stop somebody. You got to raise the intensity of your team and say, hey, we can't let them get to the easy, get to the lane easy. We got to get in front of everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I think Draymond has to improve himself defensively. That's how he has to improve, not really on offense. So I think that's going to be the difference. If he raises the team's defensive intensity, I think that's when we can see the shift in this series going back to the Warriors.
Well, it better happen quick because if Boston win another one at home, I'm going to go ahead and predict they're going to win 3 in a row at this point. If they win on Friday night, they're going to win when they play at Golden State for Game 5.
Who are you talking about? The Warriors?
They playing They playing Golden
State. You said
State.
If the Warriors win Game 4, they're going to win.
I'm saying if the Boston Celtics win on Friday night, Game 4, they're going to go ahead and
they're going to beat them in 5.
Golden State. Yes. Beat them in 5.
Man, I don't know. I'm still rocking with Draymond. I'm still rocking with Steph in Game 4. Like I said, defensively, that's where their improvement has to happen, bro. Because they're getting, bro. Tatum had 27 last night. Brown had 29. Smart had 24. That's the issue. Y'all talk about Draymond. Y'all talking about Draymond offense defensively. That's usually their calling card too, is their defense. They're getting scored on way too easily. I mean, Horford gave you 10 last night. White gave you 10 last night. The defensive side of the ball is the issue, bro. It's not the offense, in my opinion. They're scoring enough. And anything else for the NBA Finals, bro? Definitely excited.
Nah, I just hope my pick ain't wrong. Damn, come on, Warriors.
But this is something I want to say. I don't remember it being so much time in between games. It's like I forgot Game 2 even happened, and then it's like boom, Game 3. It's like damn, it felt like a week went by between Games 2 and Games 3.
Because they got like 3 games in between some of these. Not 3 games. They got like 3 days in between.
Damn, that's a lot of time. That's a lot of time, bro. I'm like, damn. But this has been a good finals, though. That's something I will say.
One game was on Sunday, and the last game was yesterday? Wednesday?
It was one on Thursday. It was Thursday, Sunday, and then Wednesday.
Like, that's too big of a damn gap.
Bro.
That's way too big of a From Sunday to Wednesday, that's a big ass gap for a series, bro.
Yeah. Yes, that's crazy.
And then you playing again on Friday. So you wait more than you wait like 72 to 96 hours for one game, and then you wait 48 hours for the next game. Like, I don't get it. And
then I think it's gonna be two days in between those next two too. So this one is only 1 day in between for Game 4, and then for Games 5, 6, and 7 is gonna be once again back to the 2 days in between. That shit just feel like way too much time. I need basketball in my veins.
Each game need to be 2 days apart.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
I don't care what days they fall on. They be 2 days apart.
But something I did want to point out was the what they did in the press conference, the Celtics and the Warriors, with the stand up for BRITTNEY Griner, just showing awareness to that situation, because we standing up for BG as well, because she got to get out that jam. It's been 4 or 5 months since she's been stuck in Russia, detained for no known reason. We know the reason, but still it's just on some bullshit for real. Like, we got to get her out that jam. I don't know why the politicians or why the higher ups like the president or nobody like that, senators, have gotten involved to get her back over to the U.S., bro. It's been way too much time. Because let me say this though, because if it was somebody way more high profile in the NBA, if it was a rapper, if it was somebody like that, they would have been back by now. But since she's WNBA, we obviously know they're lesser known. The marketing is different. They're slower to react to that type of situation, bro. And I think that's what we seeing. And that shit is just so crazy, bro.
Because even with what's his name? Jello Ball. Remember when Jello Ball got in trouble over in, I think he was in China or something like that?
Yes.
And he almost got detained. He wasn't even, bro, he was in college yet. And they had to hurry up and make sure they straightened out that whole situation. Even though LeVar Ball had all his antics going on TV shows and all of that, they made sure that this future possible NBA star who's already famous, like his family's already famous, they're going to be basketball famous for like the rest of their lives. They made sure they got him out of that jam immediately. He didn't even get an opportunity to really go to jail. But BRITTNEY GRINER, she's been sitting in there almost half a year now, and we're just sitting here just, hey, free BRITTNey GRINER, free BRITTNey GRINER. Hope y'all do something. Please do something. Free BRITTNey. And it's like, damn, we're begging. In other situations, we don't even have to ask. Like it's quick and easy. So,
like I said, with that ASAP Rocky situation, Trump got that man out of there, bro. That joke was like a couple of weeks, bro. And she got to sit over there for 4 months waiting for somebody to save her, because obviously the Russians don't give a damn. They're gonna have her over there for years if y'all allow this shit to happen. You know what I'm saying? So,
and now that we got all this, I'm not blaming it on this, but now that we got all these mass shootings happening back to back to back, bro, I feel like they're going to put her more on the back burner and try to fix these other issues. Not saying that's a bad thing, but just in regard to her not getting out no time soon. It's like, damn, so you already weren't getting out before the last, 3 to 4 weeks, but now over the last month, basically, we'd have had, about 4, 5 known publicly mass shootings that have happened. Yeah, you just gonna be on the back burner to these politicians. You shouldn't be, but that's probably what the case is.
We've seen for years that these dudes ain't gonna do nothing about this gun violence, bro. They're not gonna change any gun laws. They're gonna keep it the same. So I'm not even gonna ride with that excuse, because we know that law has been sitting in the table that if somebody can get a background check for years and nobody has touched it, and I don't think nobody will touch it. They will allow this shit to just continue. So I don't want to hear that excuse. Y'all can get her over here while doing that. If even if that is the case, y'all can still multitask.
They can do it both at the same time.
That's what I'm saying.
I think they're just gonna use that excuse to be like, that's the reason we're not pressing that issue right now. We're trying to deal with what's going on over here. They're gonna give some BS excuse on why they keep putting her on the back burner.
That's a damn shame, man. Definitely free BRITTNey GRINER for sure. Moving on to the Deshaun Watson problem. Eggy, you can start this one off.
Yeah, so reports say that Deshaun Watson has seen at least 66 massage therapists over a 17-month period, and the New York Times has reported that Cleveland Browns quarterback has 24 of the 66 women filing lawsuits against him, including 2 in this past week. And a woman who sued Watson withdrew her complaint out, and 2 women who filed a criminal complaint did not sue, but at least 15 therapists who issued statements at the request of lawyers are still trying to go through with this action. So there are some people who are, trying to file these complaints and then say, well, no, I'm not really trying to take it this far, but I do want to, accuse him of this and that and the third. So it's just woman after woman after woman. I thought the numbers may have stopped. Once he got traded to the Browns and everything, I'm thinking the numbers would have, died down or whatever. But it's like they're coming more and more and more. And he made a statement, I've never assaulted, harassed, or abused any woman ever in my life. So he's going to keep fighting these and taking these to trial if he can.
But the situation is they already had a first investigation, and that's when we seen all those lawsuits in like the first wave, where it was like 20 something lawsuits in the first wave. And we seen something a couple of months ago that said that he was good, like that they weren't going to press any charges, or that he was acquitted or something like that. So we all thought he was good. But apparently New York Times did a second investigation on the people that accused him. They ended up finding that he went to 66 masseuse in 17 months. And more people are coming out over the investigation by New York Times and are saying like, yeah, he did this to me too. Yeah, he did this to me too. So more people are starting to come out after the second investigation by New York Times, which is putting more pressure on Deshaun Watson. For a point in time, it looked like he was going to be okay for the not college football, but the NFL season. But now his season is once again in jeopardy because he has to deal with this once again. And at this point, bro, what I'm hearing it sounds bad, bro. And you know what really fucked him up? His lawyer honestly fucked him up. When his lawyer said happy endings aren't illegal or some shit like that, I was like, even though they're not, that's not something you say as this man's lawyer, because now you hemming him up even more, because now you're saying that that's what he's been asking for, or that's what he's pressuring these women about. Like, so the lawyers like keep pushing him into the corner of like, damn, so you have been doing this whole time. Whether the women are lying about how you went about it, we see that that has been something that you have been wanting. You have been wanting these happy endings and all of these massage places that you have been going to. So it's not looking good for Deshaun, bro. It's really not.
And then he had that video on Twitter with the porn star girl Mia Khalifa.
I don't think that video is bad. It's nothing wrong with fucking a porn star, but it's just
that's just not a good look that you need right now. You handling all these cases, and then now we see you on Twitter at the crib playing basketball with a porn star.
But that's an old video though. That video came out before these allegations came out. But that tells you how much people love drama, because people wanted to make you think they knew. But yeah, like I said, my man is not looking good. His season's in jeopardy. I'm seeing a lot of people on his head about this, especially with what happened with the Calvin Ridley situation. Like, he got suspended a year for a $1,500 bet. We know that's against the rules, so he got suspended for a year. But like, damn, that was still fucked up. So now more people are like, if Deshaun Watson, even if they do a second investigation and they found more people that accused him of this shit, it's like, damn, is he going to get a year suspended from the NFL? Is he going to get 2 years? Like, even if some women lied on him, and even if some women are telling the truth, he's going to get a long-term suspension, bro, at some point, bro, because this shit is going on too long.
He has to miss, I can't even lie, he has to miss at least half of a season. At least
he's gonna miss more than that, because I feel like this is going to continue into the season too.
They've already been saying he's gonna miss at least 4 to 6 games. Like, I feel like he can miss a lot.
And that's not even telling you how long the NFL is going to suspend him. He's just gonna miss 4 to 6 games because of how long the trial is going to be. The trial is going to bleed into training camp. That's not even telling you how long the NFL is going to suspend them for just having these allegations in general. Whether they're true or not, they're still going to suspend you for that. So it's like, bro, it's getting hard to defend Deshaun at this point, because it's like, bro, more people coming out against you, and I'm seeing you in this light now. Because I love Deshaun. I fuck with Deshaun, bro, but it's like, damn, it's too much. At this point, it's too much building up against your favor to be like, damn, he ain't do this shit.
Then,
everybody lying on him.
Like you said, your lawyer put you in a deeper hole when he damn near admitted that that's what you've been asking for or doing, and saying it's not illegal. Now it's like, damn, bro, I'm looking at you like you probably did do this shit then. Maybe not the all 66 plus of these women, because there's always going to be money grabbers in there just trying to say, oh, he did it to me too. But to the ones that actually did have a harassment issue with you, or an abuse issue with you, or whatever, like, I don't know how I can look at you right now, bro. So hopefully you beat all of these. If you don't, then it's just, you got to do the time and for doing the crime. So
yeah. And prayers to all the women who were actually assaulted by him, because I know that is a traumatic experience, because I read some stories from some accusers, and it was some wild shit. Like, what I read in the statement was like, he was asking for head. Like, he was laying down, he'll pull his pants down, and he's like putting the girl head toward his dick, like, hey, can you give me a happy ending type shit. The girl had to tell him a couple of times to like, no, I'm not doing that. So it's like, you have like some legit statements. Like I said, we don't know, but these are coming from the accusers, but they seem legit, bro. After 66 people have been interviewed, it's like, damn, bro, something got to be real in this.
After 66, one telling the truth.
Somebody telling the truth, bro. If everybody coming out against you.
Same thing I said with Bill. Same thing I said with Kelly. You know, do I believe all the women that are saying something against these men are telling the truth? I ain't going to sit here and say all of these people. But if we got X amount of people saying you did something, one person at least is telling the truth. And that one person is just as impactful as you doing it to 66 plus people.
Yeah, bro. And it hurts to say, but if he did this shit, he got to do it. You know what I'm saying? He got to do the time, whether that's suspension, jail time. Hey, bro, you can't be doing that shit to these women, bro, especially when we trying to protect them at this point. We got missing girls all around. We trying to protect everybody in our community, bro. It's a wild time to be living. So we can't have no weirdos and anybody like that trying to, get over on our women like that, bro. So I definitely agree. It's tough to say, but Deshaun, it's a Deshaun Watson. And think about it from the Cleveland perspective, bro. They just paid him a huge contract. A huge. What was that number? Well, it was like
I don't remember the number, but it was up there though.
It was like 4 year 200, wasn't it?
Cause they were saying what you call it, Arizona should have tried to give Kyler Murray a Deshaun Watson type of contract. I don't remember the dollar amount, but it was up there.
Because they literally just paid him like a couple of months ago. It was a 5-year, $230 million deal, bro.
Oh, yeah. So you making all of that money, 40 plus mil a year?
40 plus mil a year. So all of that money could be going down the drain at this point, because now it's like, damn, his future is in question. Damn. If some of these women are correct and are proven right, it's like, damn, bro. You're not gonna see the NFL for a long time, bro. They might not let you back in if that's a true statement. So especially how harsh the NFL is. So damn. Because I don't know if Deshaun is still gonna get this money. I don't know if it's guaranteed or if it's something in the contract that say if you get caught up in some allegations, we don't have to pay you. I don't know how that goes, but Cleveland is in a sticky situation if they gotta pay him, because he's not gonna be there for at least the first few games for sure. So it's definitely a sticky situation for them. I bet they're happy. They're glad they held on to Baker Mayfield. At least they still got a backup quarterback they can rely on. But moving on to the next NFL topic, we have the Rams re-sign. What's my man called? Cooper Kupp and Aaron Donald, which is a big deal because we were hearing Aaron Donald retiring possibly, and now he re-up for a 2-year, $60 million extension, which is the highest amount paid to anybody that's not a quarterback. And Cooper Kupp is getting paid like the highest paid receiver right now. I think that his extension was like 3-year, 66.
Yeah, 3 years.
3 years, 66. I think so. $22 million a year for a receiver. Like that's I think Devontae still will be number 1, but I think Kupp is close at number 2. And we see how important Kupp was to the championship for the Rams. So they definitely had to secure both of these people back if they wanted another title run.
Yeah, but I'm proud of Aaron Donald. You know, he's still choosing to play, even though he has a Hall of Fame career. He can literally never touch the field again if he doesn't want to. But I think he just is still passionate about the game and just still wants to play. So congrats to him on becoming the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. Congrats to Kupp. The Rams are going to be that team again that are in my Buccaneers way to get to the Super Bowl. They could clearly be the favorite for the Super Bowl again for this upcoming season. So shout out to the Rams. Shout out to them betting it all on Aaron Donald.
And they had signed Allen Robinson this summer.
Yep.
Damn, they signed Allen Robinson too. Oh my goodness.
Hey, that question I posed, I think it was the beginning. It was before this season even started. It might have been. Oh, I posed this question, I think, after last season, after the Bucs won the Super Bowl. But the question of if the Chiefs dynasty is in question or if the Chiefs dynasty is over, I feel like this Rams team over these next that we finna see with these contracts and them keeping these players, I feel like that's a valid question, bro. Because if the Rams go to the Super Bowl again and win, or if any other team other than the Chiefs get to the Super Bowl and win this upcoming season, the Chiefs dynasty, can we even call it a dynasty at that point?
No, they're not a dynasty right now. They're not a dynasty. But I would be more worried about the Bills if I was the Chiefs than the Rams, because I still got to see the Rams on defense. Losing Von Miller was a big deal to me, bro, and I haven't seen anybody actually actually replace him yet.
They still got Ramsey. They still got Jaylen Ramsey, and they still.
But you see how much of a difference Von Miller made, especially in that Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, it's Von. He gonna make a difference no matter what.
But I'm saying they don't got nobody like that no more, especially with all these people they paying.
I don't think you necessarily need a Von Miller, but if you got at least 75% of what Von Miller can offer you on top of Aaron Donald on your D-line and on top of Jaylen Ramsey for your corner, I feel like you straight. 75% of a Von Miller on a Rams defense the way it is right now, you can still easily win.
I gotta see it first, bro. I gotta see it first. But at the moment, the Rams are the favorite, honestly. It's honestly them and the Bucs. After that, it's like a huge drop-off to whoever you want to put at 3. If it's Green Bay, if you believe in Aaron Rodgers, I don't know why you would, but if you believed in the Cowboys, I guess. But it's a big drop off after 1 and 2. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. And I think this is it for the sports. And let's move on to social media wants to know. And the question for this week is, who is more talented, Michael Jackson or Chris Brown? But this is what, because Edgar is the one who posed this question. But this is what I'm asking. Are we saying talent in terms of music or talent in terms of everything?
Everything. Who is the most talented individual?
But give the background to this question, because I know Ryan Clark is the reason that this question is being posed.
So Ryan Clark posted a tweet claiming Chris Brown is more talented than MJ, and social media has been in constant debate on if the student has finally surpassed the master. Now, we all know Chris Brown looks up to Michael Jackson. If there's ever a Michael Jackson tribute for any award show, Chris Brown is the person everybody is calling, because we know how much he adores him. We know how much he's practiced his moves. We know how much he's influenced his music career. But is this a situation where we can finally say a student has surpassed whoever they've been studying? And I don't want to sit here and say he's better musically than Michael, but I think just as far as how much each person can do, I think Chris Brown is more talented, bro. They both can produce, they both can sing, they both can direct, they both can dance their ass off. But Chris Brown can also rap. He's also an athlete, because this nigga can really hoop. He's one of the best entertainment hoopers we've ever seen. And he can paint.
I don't think that's what Ryan Clark was trying to hit on, though, of like everything. I think he just meant like music shit.
He couldn't have been talking just musically. If he was just talking musically,
music and dancing. I think that's what he was all he was saying was music and dancing.
No.
I think that's what he's saying. He's saying Chris Brown was better. When you talk about all that other shit, like Mike wasn't no hooper or no shit. Like Mike wasn't an athlete. So obviously Chris Brown is gonna have that. But I think he was trying to pose that question, and why it's being debated so much is because he's just talking about music, dancing, that type of lane.
I think musically, MJ is clearly better than Chris. When it comes to dancing,
don't do that.
I can't be mad at either answer.
Because you know who better than Chris Brown? Usher.
At what?
Usher.
Dancing?
Usher, yes!
Shut the hell up.
Music, and dancing. Usher was better than him. Usher was really looking up to Chris Brown was really looking up to Usher.
Usher will tell you right now. Usher will tell you right now that Chris Brown is the better dancer. I promise to God.
No, he's not. In his prime?
Usher will tell
probably
you.
Right
Usher
now.
will tell you right
Usher
now.
In his prime was not. No. Usher in his prime was better than Chris, bro. Right now, obviously, Usher is better. Is not better now. In his prime,
Usher put both of their dance moves in their prime side by side.
Who's closer to Mike? Yeah.
If I'm closer to Mike, I'm better than you. What the hell? Chris Brown is close.
Chris Brown is not closer than Chris Brown is not closer to Mike than Usher. Usher is closer to Mike than Chris Brown.
Usher, Jamie Foxx, and several other entertainers are on the record saying Chris is the closest thing we've ever seen to Michael Jackson.
They not telling the truth. Usher is better than him. Period. Right. If we keep it in
Usher himself said Chris is the closest thing we've ever seen.
Usher.
Even Usher ain't gonna agree with that.
I agree, Usher. I agree, Usher.
Nope.
Usher being nice with y'all niggas, bro. If he being real, Usher was better than that, bro. Usher was better than that nigga, bro.
That's fine. It's gonna be a situation, bro. As usual, it's gonna be a situation where.
Let's not be real. Musically between Usher and Chris Brown.
Oh, I'll give you Usher. I ain't gonna argue that. Okay. Musically, I ain't gonna argue Usher, but dance moves, Chris Brown. It's not a question.
I still rock with Usher. I think Usher is the better. Yeah, I think Usher.
It's gonna be another situation where Chris Brown gonna have to pass. When Chris Brown passes, and we look back at this man's career, you gonna see people out the woodworks who are going to admit what they've been saying this entire time. I don't know why y'all don't believe me. You can look up the Chris Brown documentary that he dropped in 2017. There were several credible artists on that documentary. He the closest thing we've seen to Mike. He dances just like Mike. Like he's on entertainment. These are quality entertainers who we consider credible artists that are saying this, but nobody wants to believe it now because the argument is finally here.
Y'all think about the BET Awards from 2009. Y'all stuck to them. That's all y'all do. Y'all stuck to the BET Awards from 2009. That's all y'all do,
I'm
man.
telling you. I'm telling
Over the
you.
years, I still rock with Usher, bro. Who more talented? I'll still go with Usher, bro.
Nah, bro.
I would rock with Usher over Chris Brown. I'm not even lying.
Chris
to you,
Brown, I don't think Chris gets the recognition of being as talented as he deserves, bro. Like, because if we being
I think
honest,
he's noticed as talented, but when you put Michael Jackson in the category, it's tough.
bro. I mean, as generational talent, bro. I don't think people look at Chris Brown as a generational talent like how they should.
Sure.
Because if we're being honest, Prince got to be in this conversation too. Prince played like 20 plus instruments, which most niggas in the world can't do, and people don't want to put Prince in the conversation. So the fact that,
but that's what I'm saying, though.
Putting people like that in the conversation is crazy too.
But that's what I'm saying, though, about this type of conversation. Chris Brown is definitely a generational talent, but you compare him to the GOAT, bro. So the shit gonna be a difference, bro.
But
we can respect your talent.
Is that really a reach?
You compare it to the GOAT, bro. It's different.
It's not like I'm naming Omarion or some shit. Like I'm naming Chris Brown, bro. Like somebody who can really be in the
argument. It's a cool argument.
It's not the fact that people are disagreeing that's upsetting me. It's the fact that people are just acting like it's just so outlandish to even have that thought. Like that's what I don't like, because it's like, bro, Chris Brown is the closest thing we're gonna get. We're never gonna get anybody that mimics the same thing. We're never gonna get anybody to mimic Michael Jordan like Kobe mimicked Michael Jordan. We're never gonna get anybody to mimic MJ like Chris Brown has mimicked MJ. And I don't think people are gonna realize that and accept that until he's gone, bro. I'm telling you, bro. That's what it's gonna take. It's gonna take for Chris to not be here no more, for niggas to sit and cry and be like, damn, he really was up there if you think about it. And that's gonna piss me off. I don't even want to see them tweets when that time.
Like I said, Chris Brown is on neck and neck with Usher. Mike is just up, bro. I just say musically. When you talk about dancing, I think there's definitely an argument to be made there, dancing wise. But musically, I think Mike is just heads and shoulders above both of them.
When it just comes to straight music, bro, I will not argue that. Chris Brown has made timeless hits too, but Michael Jackson has clearly made way more. Yeah. So I can't argue that. But when it just comes to the full scope of being an entertainer and just being a talented individual, the argument is not crazy. It's not a crazy argument.
It's not. Michael Jackson had some crazy shit. Remember the time? There's so many videos that you can reference, bro, that he was just really getting loose, bro. Chris Brown had some shit too. Usher has some shit too. Y'all niggas gonna stop doing that, bro. Usher was a talented ass nigga.
He's right under Chris.
He's in this conversation. Usher is in this conversation. I don't know why nobody bringing him up.
I'm not arguing the fact that Usher ain't in the conversation. He's just not above Chris. That's all.
I say he's above Chris. We can agree to disagree. That's fine to me. Yeah. That's honestly fine to me. Y'all, like I said, y'all hold on to the BET performance so much because he did mimic Mike. He did. But that nigga Usher was something different in his time, bro. I don't think just mimicking somebody means that they're a better dancer than somebody. Like, damn, yeah, he mimicked that nigga, but damn, Usher been dancing his ass off since 1990 something.
So how the hell we give Kobe credit for copying every move Michael Jordan did, but we can't give Chris Brown credit for copying MJ shit and doing it to perfection? Bro. We love Kobe. We can watch the highlights.
Think about what you just said, though, bro.
MJ did. And winning just as much as MJ, but not Chris Brown copying.
Think about what you just said, though, bro. Think about what you said. I think he gets docked a little bit because you were mimicking Mike. And it's the same thing for Kobe. No. I'm just saying.
We love that shit,
no. We do love that show. I'm not saying anything was wrong with that show, but I think we dock him a little bit for that. It's the same thing with MJ and Mike. Or Kobe, or I said MJ and Mike. Kobe and Mike. We will never put Kobe above Mike because one was the original and one was the person that came after him. You will not put the one that came after him above him. You just won't, because you just see too many similarities there. But when you got LeBron James coming in, like Usher is, and that's now we got a conversation here between Mike and Usher.
You trying to make Usher LeBron and it's not working. It's not working.
All right, I'm tweaking on that one. Usher is more Kevin Durant. But
you trying to get that boy Usher's 10 finals appearances. Oh shit.
Oh man, that's funny as hell. All right, bro. Anything else on that?
Nah, I just thought that was a real interesting conversation because I just don't think you can have a different opinion on it, but I don't think it's a crazy argument. I just wanted people to understand that because I seen people on Twitter, people on Facebook acting like this was just the most lopsided argument ever. And I'm like, it's really not. Like when you really look at both artists and see what both of them can actually do as a total talent, it's not that far off.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. All right, moving forward to entertainment and current events. We got the Lori and Michael B. Jordan breakup. But I like the point that you made about this breakup, though.
Yeah, so the couple breaks up after about a year of being together. Rumors have it that Michael wanted to get married and Lori wasn't ready. Is she wrong for wasting his time, quote unquote, or was he wrong for not bringing up these feelings sooner? And another question that people were asking on social media, was Future right all along?
What did Future say?
No, he didn't say nothing specifically, but just him not being with Lori no more and then talking shit about her in the songs. Tell Steve Harvey y'all don't wanna. Was Future right? Was Future right this whole time?
No, man, Future ain't right, bro. Future right. Future is still in facts about Sierra, my nigga. I don't want to hear nothing from that nigga. I don't want to hear anything from him. He's still in facts about her. But nah, that's an interesting point that you bring up of like, should you tell somebody that you're not ready at a certain, you know what I'm saying, at a certain point in the relationship? You know, it's starting to get deep. It's been a year. It's starting to get to that point where it's like, damn, we could possibly talk about it. We could possibly do it. But I think it's the difference in age, because how old is Michael B. Jordan?
Michael B. Jordan is 35. Lori Harvey is 24.
And I think that's the big difference, bro. Michael B. Jordan is at the age where he done been through him. He done been through the game. He ready to settle down. Lori's still in her prime, 25. She really hasn't seen everything like you have, bro. So she's still looking around of like, I'm not ready to really tuck it in at 25. I'm really trying to still see what's out there to make sure that you are the right guy. But it's just an interesting conversation, because I think Mike has to know early in the relationship, like the age of like, damn, is she ready to settle down? Is this something fun? I think it could have possibly started off as something fun, and then it turned into something that Lori wasn't even expecting, of like, she actually loves him. And then the marriage comes up and it's like, whoa, I didn't really get in a relationship for that. And that's how we see somebody back out of it. I think that's the situation that we could be looking at here.
But knowing that MBJ is so much older than her, he has an 11-year age difference on her. I think this is, and this is why I point at him in this situation. I feel like this should have been an early conversation. Like, Michael, like, you damn near 40. So you being damn near 40, you should be, and you're feeling like you want to get married, you should bring that up way earlier in the relationship than when you did. Not saying he didn't, because we don't know these conversations. But
like I said, it could have started off us as some fun shit, like, oh, we're going to get together.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Casual.
But after, if you're 35, after 6 months of quote unquote having fun with somebody, you thinking about, okay, like, I need to ask this person, like, do they want to be with me for real? Or is this just a fling? And Lori has just been one of them people that, you know, she's a woman that she wants to have fun. They call her the future for the women, but I think, like you said, she's just having fun. She's in her 20s, and it's like, yeah, she probably does love him. I'm sure he loves her, but it's not to the point of where she wants to get married. And I think they broke up because, and this conversation happens a lot too. Do you break up with somebody after you propose or try to give the question and they don't want it? Do you stay together and make it work, or do you just say, no, we got to break up? I think they broke up because it's like, Michael B. Jordan is like, well, you don't want to get married right now, so we just don't need to be together at this point. Because I don't know, I can't be another 5 years. I'm 40, another 5 years. You still ain't even 30 yet, and you still looking at me like, nah, I ain't ready to get married yet. Like, Michael B. Jordan ain't trying to be on that type of time. Yeah. And Lori is just like, hey, I'm finna live it up. I'm rich. I'm famous. Every nigga want to date me, so I'm just gonna have fun. I can have Michael B. Jordan one day. I can have a rapper the next day. I can have an athlete the next day. Like, she really just, she on go. She doing her.
Yeah, and that's why I said I can't really blame her, because this is what she should be doing. She should be living her life to her fullest potential. If she don't think marriage is in the cards for her at this point, I can't say, damn, you should have told him earlier how you was feeling like you didn't want to get married. Because, like I said, it probably didn't start like something like a marriage type of thing. Like, oh, we getting in this for the long haul type shit. It was probably turned into something that, oh, it's a real relationship. Oh, this is something that I haven't experienced before.
But she a grown woman now too. So like I said, he could have brought it up earlier. She could have kind of brought the conversation up earlier too, especially because she a woman. Women will intimidate men with
But
questions.
that's how you know she hockey. If she's not talking about it, she hockey not looking for it. Because women will talk to you about the shit, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like women will press that question up on men way quicker than most men will pressure that question on them. So the fact that after 6 months, if she's used to dating men and saying, okay, after a few months or damn near a year, the record of me dating people has shown I haven't been with people that long. After like 6 months of being with him, she should have been like, okay, I need to ask him like what he want to do for real, because I don't think I want anything long term. But she just kept letting it ride out. So I understand people asking the question of, well, damn, was she just wasting his time? But I also understand the point of he could have asked sooner if that's what he was looking for.
And I think this is a situation where we're going to see them back together again, because I think she just wants to see what's out there. She don't want to get locked down and then be like, damn, I could have had this, I could have had that. You never want a girl to have that type of feeling when they get married, because it's like, damn, like you want him. Like then now you start to, that's when the infidelity kicks in. Like I would have let her go and let her see what's out there. And then if nothing's out there, if you don't see anything that's to your liking, all right, bro, then so you are looking for marriage. So you're looking to be committed to me. You're looking to have a long-term relationship with me. I think that's a situation that we could be looking at, because all these people are probably trying to, you know what I'm saying, hump and dump Lori Harvey, if I'm to put it that way. But I feel like Michael B. Jordan was really trying to wife her up. I don't think a lot of people look at Lori like that. I really don't. Like a lot of people a lot of people look at her like a trophy at this point. Not as a wife, but Michael B. Jordan is looking at you as a wife. And that's why I say, like, it probably was a different feeling for her, because probably nobody looked at her like that. Nobody viewed her like, damn, you're a wife, bro. Like, I want to marry.
Yeah, once you date Future, you used to niggas that are like, I'm not gonna.
You dating P. Diddy. We just heard what P. Diddy was talking about with
and then his son. You talking to his son too, so it's like,
so you see the type of time she was on. So it was like, oh, she was never really in the mindset of long-term relationship, marriage at this point. And then Michael B. Jordan comes along and he's really trying to marry you. It's a different feeling for her as well. So like I said, she's probably trying to go out there, see what's out there. She probably gonna come back to Mike though. Mike gonna allow that shit because he love that girl.
I don't blame either side. Hey, Michael B. Jordan, he damn near 40. He ready to get married. I can't blame him for that. Lori, she in her prime and she trying to explore her options. I can't blame her for that either. They like Quincy said, they got into it just to probably have fun. Feelings got deeper than both sides expected. And with feelings getting deeper, Michael's side of it was like, oh, well, I like her enough. I actually probably love her enough. So I want this to be a forever thing. And Lori is like, oh, wait, we're getting deep into this. I don't know if I'm ready for that. So two totally different sides of the coin.
Especially when y'all families on the same page. And I'm pretty sure Lori done met Michael B. Jordan people. And I know Steve Harvey, he felt like he was about to cry on the radio show after he heard about the breakup. So I know he loved Michael B. Jordan. So it's just crazy because I know him and Steve Harvey was tight. So yeah, once you get that bond that close, you get close with the families too. It's hard to really break up like that. But hey, they doing what's best for them. Lori is, at least. Michael B. Jordan got to bounce back. He gonna bounce back with something good. But
bro, as soon as I seen that video of him at the whatever, I think he was at a Warriors.
He was at the Warriors game.
And as soon as I seen that video, they gonna make this way bigger than what it is. They're trying to say bro was crying. They say look at the hurt in his eyes. That man is watching a basketball game.
Yeah, that's what was blowing me. It's like, how you know he think about Lori at this moment? Like, Lori's not even there.
This man probably crying because he got a bet that he finna lose. Y'all talking about Lori.
But something I did see, I see that he was supposed to go to the game with Lori, but he ended up giving his ticket to my boy Corday. So Corday was at the game. He was like, man, this is why I love having rich friends. Like, they always invite you to places. He just called me up today.
He was with my dog. He was with his dog. Yeah.
And he didn't even know he was there for mental support. He didn't even know he was there for that. That man was there for the mental support for real. But yeah, man. Moving on. We got the Apple Pay later.
Yes, so Apple Pay will launch its Buy Now, Pay Later feature when iOS 16 becomes available. Currently, the latest feature out on the software feature out for iPhones is 15.5. So when iOS 16 comes out, it will allow users to purchase items and set payment plans for their Apple Wallet and Pay card. 4 payments will be split into equal amounts, and each payment happens every 2 weeks and is scheduled automatically with your Apple Pay. So the world of credit and digital pay is changing, bro. Like, not only can you have credit cards, digitally through crypto and all of that, but now just having an iPhone, you can have a credit card just for the fact that you have an iPhone. So I think this is cool. I think this is going to give a lot of people who can't get normal credit cards, it's going to give them an opportunity to get into the world of credit. I don't know if this will actually affect people's credit scores or not, but I think it's a cool option.
I was about to ask you. Yeah, that's what I was about to ask you. Because I know the places like Klarna and what's the other one? It's called Afterpay. I know they're big in the after or the payment plan game. They say that doesn't affect your credit score, but I honestly don't know. I don't know if that's true or not, because they don't get any of your social security information. So I don't know how it would affect your credit score, but you never know how. So they connect one thing to another, and then your score is dropping magically. So I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised if it affects your credit score, though, because since it's connected to your actual Apple Pay is essentially connected to your bank account. Mm-hmm. So if you're using Apple Pay credit card or Apple Pay later, whatever they decide to call it, it's going to automatically take the payments out for whatever you owe from your actual bank account. And I don't care what nobody says, even if you don't have a credit card, the way you use your debit card and the way you just pay for stuff in life, that affects your credit too. And how much money you owe people in this, that, and the third, damn near anything you do honestly affects your credit. There's a few things that don't, but I feel like Apple Pay, along with the other services that you said, I feel like they'll all somehow, some way affect your credit score, especially if you could just buy something and just walk out and be cool with it. Now, I do think the initial payments that you make for something, so like, let's say when you first buy something, I think you have to make one of those 4 payments the moment you buy something. And then the other 3 payments will follow 2 weeks in between after.
Damn. That's crazy. It's crazy how layaway is something that was so frowned upon at one point, or it was something that was so big in the 90s. But this is honestly just another version of layaway. Or it's like, or you're getting what you want, but you still got to pay it back at the end of the day. This is what we see now. This is the newer version of it.
The difference between layaway and what we're doing nowadays, you couldn't get what you were paying for until
you paid it off. Yeah.
Like, so that shit was still sitting in the window. But nowadays you can pay, if something's $100, you could pay, like, for example, with this Apple Pay later, you could pay $25, walk out the door with it, and pay the remaining $75 over a 2-week quarter period. So that's way different than paying $25 and still having to walk past that shit walking out the store.
That's funny as hell, bro. That was a weird ass system, bro. Yeah, that's exactly what I think about when I think about layaway. That's exactly what I think about. I think
that boy was in the hospital, man. Worried about the layaway.
Hey, I had tweeted that recently, bro. When you talk about greatest shows of all time, bro, especially greatest black shows of all time, that shit has to be top tier, bro. With the Martins, with the Fresh Princes,
and Everybody Hates Chris, like they up there to me.
That shit gotta be up there, bro. When I think about so much shit, I reference that show, bro. I've seen everything. Oh man, it's funny because that show came out in what, 2012 or
early 2000s?
Was it early 2000 or 2005? I think it was like 2005.
It was the back end of the 2000s before we got to the 2010s.
Yeah, we did go into the 2010s. So I was like, because he was old as hell by the time they ended the shit. Yeah. So yeah, bro. So like, it's so many people reference like the 90s shows when they reference actual like good TV, especially when you talk about black television. But when you talk about a mid 2000s show, like, you gotta talk about that one, bro. Like, that's the show for a lot of us who grew up in that era. That was our show, bro. That was Everybody Hates Chris, was literally that for us.
My mom used to get so aggravated. I used to make her watch that with me all the time.
My boy had Everybody Hates Chris sheets on his bed. Like, it was a wild time, bro. That was nigga's favorite show for sure, bro. And moving on, we got the Dave Chapelle and Chris Rock team up.
Yes, so Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock are set to take place this fall for a comedy special. The first episode is gonna be the first show is gonna be at the O2 Arena in London, September 3rd. So I'm not sure exactly when the special will drop, but the first show is set for September. I'm interested to see how this is gonna go, especially on Chris Rock's side. I know Dave Chappelle.
Are they performing together, or is this like one's gonna do a set and the other's gonna do a set?
Now that's what I'm wondering. I'm not sure. I didn't get much clarification on that. That'll be some iconic shit though.
Yes.
If they both on the stage at the same time, that would be crazy. So y'all should look out for that. Look out to see if they gonna do it at the same time, be on the stage at the same time.
Because they can bounce off each other, especially off like that Will Smith shit. They finna make hella jokes off that shit. You know,
But
Chris Rock finna eat off that.
Are we ready to hear more jokes about that, bro? I feel like social media has just played that shit out. So by the time Chris talk about it, you got to think, bro, we're in June. 3 months from now, like, are we still ready to hear more Will Smith jokes?
But we haven't heard Chris Rock speak on it though. And I think that's what's most important. You can make your jokes on Twitter, but we haven't heard from the person that it actually happened to.
He said something not too long ago, a few weeks ago. He said, I got slapped by the softest nigga in rap history.
I'm talking about joke related until that shit. Like, he gonna come with some fire. Even though it might be a couple of jokes from Chris, he gonna come with something that's funny as hell.
I'm gonna go ahead and predict his Will Smith jokes are gonna be the least funniest jokes in that special. I think he's gonna have way funnier jokes than whatever Will Smith stuff we're gonna hear. We're gonna laugh, obviously, because we're gonna reminisce on the moment, but I don't think it's gonna be as funny as whatever else he may say. Dave Chappelle, I know he gonna have us dying about whatever new transgender jokes he got about.
That's the person I'm more so worried about than Chris Rock. I know Chris gonna be funny because of those Will Smith jokes. Dave Chappelle's the person I'm like, those transgender jokes still finna hit, Dave? Are those still gonna hit? That's who you should be worried about.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know.
And what's the other thing? The cancel culture. You gonna continue to talk about that, Dave? Like, that's the nigga you gotta
dude running up on him on stage, about to kill him and all that. But I think Dave's mannerisms are just funnier than Chris. Like the way Dave Chappelle just looks and sounds, the dramatic pauses he takes while telling jokes are just so much funnier than Chris. With Chris, you're really waiting for the punchline. Like, you're waiting for him to say the joke. With Dave Chappelle, you could damn near die laughing in the middle of him telling the joke. And I think that's where the humor differs with both of them.
Like I said, bro, that last Dave went the Chappelle stand up. That shit missed for me, bro. That shit missed because it's getting stale and repetitive, bro. And I think that's the thing, because it's just transgender and cancel culture and all that bullshit. It's like, Dave, like, can we get to some free jokes, my nigga? Get away from that bullshit. Because for 3 stand-ups in a row, you've been talking about all the same shit, bro. Can we just talk about some regular shit like Killing Me Softly? Can we go back to when you were just talking about anything?
You know who else ain't that funny no more, bro? Cat Williams, bro. I thought Cat Williams was gonna be somebody that would just always be funny because he's so against the industry. He's so against what everybody else.
Oh, you watch his recent stand-up then? You watch his recent stand-up?
I ain't see like his full recent stand-up, but the jokes that I did see, I'm like, this shit ain't funny. Like,
his recent stand-up was it was solid. I ain't gonna say it was good, but it was.
I'm about to say, was it solid or was it like funny?
I'm not gonna say the whole thing was good, but like I said, it was about 20 to 22 minutes of funny shit. Like I said, you know, Cat can get his shit off, bro.
Out of like an hour.
It was like out of an hour. It was like 22 minutes of funny shit. It was one thing that he was talking about that was like bugging me, that wasn't as funny as he usually does. But like I said, it was 22 strong minutes. The other 38 was kind of but it's Cat though. Cat always gonna be funny to me though. I feel like his delivery is more so funny than everybody's delivery, because he was gonna have me laughing mid joke.
Cat Williams and Bernie Mac have like the funniest joke deliveries. Like Bernie Mac would have me crying before I even hear what the joke is. Another this ain't even social media wants to know, but whatever dumbass person said this, I forgot what her Twitter name was. She gotta be under 18 years old. She got to be 18 or younger. Because there's nobody over the age of 25 that will sit here and say Bernie Mac is not funny. You can say he ain't your favorite comedian. You can even go much and say he's not top 3 for your comedians. But to say that Bernie Mac is just plain old not funny, you young as hell. You're young as hell, and I'm not getting any other reason for you saying this. Like, you are a young ass individual that did not get the luxury of seeing Bernie Mac live, like in shows, movies, or whatever. So
yeah, I fully agree. I seen that tweet, bro. Her mentions was going crazy. Her quote tweets was like the ratio was something. That ratio was crazy, but I think that was a good time to appreciate what Bernie did. I love moments like that because, that was a dumbass tweet, but to see all the funny shit that he's giving us, bro, the Kings
dollar bill.
Yeah, bro, dollar bill. You feel what I'm saying? The Soul Brothers shit. Then you got the Bernie Mac. You got what he did for Head of State. You got all of these jokes from so many movies that he's been in, bro. It's like, this man is timeless, bro. So it was just funny to see.
Kings of comedy.
Yeah.
Man, priceless.
Yeah, bro.
RIP to the Mac. For sure.
Definitely, bro. Definitely. And moving on, we are diving into the Black Adam trailer reaction.
Black Adam, what have your powers ever given to you? Nothing but heartache.
I was a slave until I died. Then I was reborn a god. My son sacrificed his life to save me. Over fire! War going. Now, I kneel before no one.
War going on outside we ain't safe from.
In this world, there are heroes.
I feel the pain in my city wherever I go.
And there are villains. Heroes don't kill people. Well, I do.
My vision has shown me the future. You have two choices. You can be the destroyer of this world, or you can be its savior. That's up to you.
What the hell? Behind you!
Did he just catch a rocket?
He got a rocket.
All black everything. You know my fresh coat.
Damn, on Halloween?
For real.
That's wild.
All right, bro. What is your reaction to the new Black Adam that will be coming out?
It looked fire. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Hey, y'all know me. I'm very critical of DC movies, but this looks fire. Like, this actually looks good. I think The Rock is gonna do an amazing job. I love the fact that they got all these other heroes and villains in this. So it's not just him against one person the entire movie. There's gonna be a lot of different perspectives. So I'm excited for it.
And I think that's what captured my attention as well. We see the one dude jump out of the helicopter, and then we see that he's wearing the gold mask. It's like, I'm more interested to see what they are, because we already know how they're going to play Black Adam. You already heard it throughout the trailer of, are you going to be on the good guy side, or are you going to be a bad guy? You're the anti-hero shit. So it's like, obviously he's going to be a hero at the end of the day. But the other people, it's like, okay, are they all going to be villains? Does he have to defeat all of them by the time this movie ends? I feel like it could turn out to be some fire shit.
I think it looked good. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, and it's funny how The Rock is really turning into this lane, because who would have thought he would have been actually in one of this big ass production to be a huge DC character in Black Adam? Like, Black Adam is beloved in the tight-knit community for comics. So for The Rock to be playing him is a huge honor, and he has come a long way from his wrestling days, bro. So yeah,
it honestly doesn't surprise me that much though, just because The Rock is just built. First off, not even talking about his acting, he's just built like he's supposed to play in action and superhero movies, just based off of how he looks. Honestly, I'm surprised we ain't never seen Terry Crews as no villain or no superhero in anything. So I'm just saying just off of how they built. Like, even if they're just like a side character or a character in the background or something, like you would just assume that people who are of that stature physically are in movies like that. But to your point, his acting is just improved so much over like 20 plus years now of from being in the WWF, then transitioning to the WWE to doing all Fast and Furious movies, and then all the other movies he's done, comedies. And
I like the Central Intelligence one too. I think the Central Intelligence showed both sides of Kevin Hart and The Rock, because they were funny in some instances, but at some point they had to get real about themselves of what positions they were in. And I think that was the more dope part of that movie, because there was a different side from Kevin and a different side from The Rock. And I think it made him capable of doing a movie like Black Adam, who is so dark, who comes back from the dead to, wreak havoc on the planet. I think that's something that he had to grow into. So I'm glad that he got this role. And something that I read is that he didn't even have to wear any padding for this suit. Like, he is just literally filling that whole suit. Like, that's wild, bro. Y'all see how that suit looked? That was fitting him perfectly. It looked like it was padding in there.
And The Rock is like, over 50 years old? Like, he's I want to say at least 52, 53 probably.
Bro,
The Rock got to be damn near 54. Let me see. Dwayne Johnson.
The Rock is 50, bro.
50.
Yeah.
He 50 on the head. He younger than what I thought.
That's crazy. That's crazy, to be honest with you.
The fact that we can still get like a good 10 more years of good Dwayne Johnson films, bro. Like, The Rock can play in so much more shit, bro, over the next 10 years, bro. As long as he stay healthy, The Rock can definitely be one of the biggest names, continue to be one of the biggest names in cinema.
And one thing that you're starting to see in films now, actors are lasting way longer than what they used to. It's like, it used to be a stop period where it's like, all right, some people can work into their older age, but for a lot of people, once you get to, you start to get old, we start to see the difference in your facial structure. It's like, okay, now we don't really want to use you. But we're seeing more and more actors like play into like their 60s, their 70s, even when they're old and in shape, like they're getting played now. So I think that's just
CGI.
Dope, so I agree.
CGI is playing a part of that too.
Because the same thing from Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe didn't look that young. Like, he looked older, definitely, but the Spider-Man No Way Home effects made him look younger. So it just works now. So that shit is, I fuck with it for sure. But if you do not know Black Adam, for this movie, the synopsis is nearly 5,000 years after he was bestowed with almighty powers of the Egyptian gods and imprisoned justice quickly, Black Adam is freed from his earthly tomb, ready to unleash his unique form of justice on the modern world. They always say that unique form. It's just like my boy from Moon Knight. What's my man Khonshu? It's like that nigga was doing good, but behind closed doors, nigga doing some snake shit. Probably
that word justice, bro. I think DC is playing on that word justice so much nowadays. Like, what is justice really? Because your definition of justice could stand for some evil ass shit, and my definition of justice could be the good old Captain America, save everybody the right way. So,
and the one thing about this movie, he looked like a black Shazam, and that's the one thing I wish they would have changed. They look way too similar. They had the lightning bolt on the chest. It's like, you're like a black Shazam. I wish they would have changed it to give them a different aesthetic so they didn't look so similar, because now people are going to confuse them. One's white and one's black, but it's like, I just see a lightning bolt. For a lot of kids, they just see a lightning bolt on your chest, bro. So they just going to associate that with the superhero. So I wish they would have changed that. And what role does he play in the future of this DC universe? Because I think this movie is going to be pretty good. So where does he fall with this? Do you want to associate him with the Justice League, or do you want to keep him away from that and go somewhere else?
Nah.
Is he wreaking havoc on the world to the point where the Justice League have to stop him?
Nah. I just don't
want to associate it.
I just don't want to mix it with the Justice League. Nah. Just don't do it.
All right, and the next trailer reaction we have is the Mike Tyson series trailer. It is pulled.
I want to live
They call me a savage.
whether I'm right.
Who the hell I am?
I won't give up this dream of life that keeps me alive.
Yeah. No.
For somebody else, if I'm not right for me, I gotta be free. I just gotta be free. There ain't no trying to do it.
You need to embrace your villainy. Now I'm really gonna have some fun.
It looked pretty solid.
That
I ain't
shit
gonna lie, it
looks
looks
solid, bro. But you know the one thing, bro, that's holding me back from this series, I think, is Jamie Foxx. I don't know if you remember him describing that one Mike Tyson movie that he was supposed to be doing, but I recently rewatched that interview and that interview clip. And I just want to see his version of the shit because the shit,
Yeah.
well, the way he was describing it, the shit just sounded so fire. I don't know if you remember, it was like,
Oh
he
yeah,
was
I
boxing.
do.
He was
Yup.
boxing with a little kid. Then he back at his last fight. I was like, this shit look like it's gonna be good, it's solid. But every time I think of some Mike Tyson shit, I want to see the Jamie Foxx version. And the funny thing about that, Jamie Foxx had that interview 7 years ago. So it's like, damn, Jamie, we still ain't got shit from the Mike Tyson shit yet. I actually want to see that Jamie Foxx version.
Yeah, I want to see it too, bro. But I'm excited for what we're gonna get now. And it was people saying that, Jamie in his 50s, like, but we just made the point of CGI
Exactly.
playing a part to where it don't
And
matter
Jamie
how old
can
you
build
are.
like that too. I've seen
Yeah,
Jamie built like that. Yeah.
He could get built like that. And I don't think anybody is gonna have the Mike Tyson physique that we're gonna expect, because Mike Tyson was just one of the most unorthodox built athletes of all time. Like, I don't think anybody can just, for his size and his stature, the way he was built, you're never gonna get it perfect, but they can get Jamie close to that. So I do want to see Jamie Foxx's version more so than this. But this is a series. Jamie Foxx's version was supposed to be a movie.
Yeah.
So hopefully it still does happen. Hopefully they don't wait too long. I don't need Jamie Foxx being 60 now trying to play a 30-year-old Mike Tyson. Now, we don't need that.
Yeah, I just read that they hired a director recently. So they look like they're still trying to do it, but we don't know how long this shit gonna come into effect. Because you can hire a director and still be sitting on a movie for a long time. So I don't know if Jamie is still going to be playing him, or Jamie is going to be like somebody that has a lot of input, becomes like an executive producer or a producer for the film and has a lot of input on it. But something about this series is that it's going to chronicle the rise and fall of Mike Tyson. So it's not just going to show you the glitz and the glamour, everything that you've been shown in The Hangover, the biting of ears. It's going to show you everything, his love life, everything that was going on in the ring and outside of the ring. So that's why I think I'm more so excited for it, because I haven't met somebody who's kept a close eye on Mike Tyson. Obviously, you hear the stories. Obviously, you see the crazy ass, wild ass highlights of Mike Tyson, but you really don't dive into like his background nor his love life. Like, I didn't even know he was married at one point. I wouldn't even thought so, because Mike Tyson just doesn't figure like he's that type of person. So I'm interested to learn more about him throughout this series. I don't know how long it's going to be, but it should be long enough for you to get the full grasp of like the Mike Tyson experience.
And you want to know what's funny? Everybody that has ever met or hung out with Mike Tyson has a crazy Mike Tyson story.
Exactly.
Like, everybody. And I think it's very few people like that. Like Mike Tyson, Snoop Dogg, like people like that. You just always have a story with how it went when you met this person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's a wild dude. Definitely, he comes off more chill now. But he definitely calmed down from over the years. But Mike was a wild boy. So I'm glad that they're picking back up so we can actually get insight. And I wonder if he had any input in this series, or was this something like completely separate from him, and they're just making it off of a
I would
book or
hope he
something
did.
like that. I would hope he had
had
input
some
on it. You
input.
know what I'm saying? So we just ain't looking at no bullshit.
Especially if you talking about like his fall and everything.
Yeah.
I think he would want that. I think if he had to choose what part he could have an input in, because when you talking about the upbringing of somebody, is like, okay, like y'all can be kind of fictitious with that if y'all want. But when it comes to the fall, like how he went to prison and this, that, and the third, I don't think he wants to be painted in any more of a negative light than what he may have already been in when it happened. So I think he would want some say so on how that gets portrayed in the series.
Yeah. So I'm definitely looking forward to it, bro. Definitely looking forward to it. And let's move on to Past the Ox. What you got for song of the week?
Bro, I'm on that Boston Richie again, man. Boston Richie, certified dripper.
That nigga been on that Boston Richie, what, 2 weeks?
Yeah, he only got about 5 songs, but it's hitting. But it's hitting though.
On repeat for sure.
Hey, it's the fact that he started rapping like 8 months ago, and he already has like a top 3 song on YouTube. He already got features from Dirk. He co-signed by Future and be hanging out with Future all the time, and like all of that. So it's like, bro, literally in 8 months, you went from a straight street nigga, woke up one day and said, I want to start rapping, and now everybody finna know your name eventually.
That's how Lil Snoop was. Like, Lil Snoop was somebody who was just like grabbed off the street and just started rapping, and everybody just gravitated toward dude. Like Meek Mill obviously was like the big brother to him, but everybody gravitated, wanted to be a part of Lil Snoop. That's somebody else, man. R.I.P., bro. Definitely R.I.P. Lil Snoop. Definitely has so much potential. What is my song of the week, bro? I've been listening to a lot. I've been listening to that new Ella May. I've been listening to that Kehlani, bro. I even been going back listening to some K Camp, but I'm gonna stick with that Ella May though. I'm gonna just go with the Trying. I fuck with Trying heavy. I've been playing that, and that How featuring Roddy Ricch actually slides too. So definitely those 2 tracks I would have. And moving on to movie and show reviews, the Joker 2 update.
Yes, so director Todd Phillips took an IG picture of Joaquin Phoenix. You say Joaquin, right? Or Joaquin, however you say.
Joaquin.
Yeah. And he was reading the script for the sequel to the 2019 Joker film. The title is Joker, Folie à Deux. And what can we expect from this follow-up, and how could this tie into any other DC films? Do you think they're going to actually start putting the Joker into all of these other DC universe characters, or we're just getting a strict follow-up to that Joker film?
This is the thing with the Joker 2, bro. Do we need it? Is what I'm more so questioning at the end. Because you left the viewer in such a state that was honestly perfect to me, because you really didn't know what happened at the end. You could just really interpret what happened yourself, and I love being in that state where you can go in so many directions with a ending, like, oh, this could have happened, or you can interpret it this way. But now when you make a 2, you kind of close everything up and you start like, oh, this is what actually happened with the Joker at the end of that movie, and then you carry on with his storyline. I just feel like the Joker story has high-key been told so many times. Like, damn, do I want more Joker? Or was I cool with the Joker 1?
Good though, bro. I think it's not going to be as good as.
It's not going to be as good as 1, and that's what I'm saying.
But I think it's going to be a decent follow-up, though. I think it's going to be a decent follow-up because of who we could possibly get in this. Because Folie à Deux means madness shared, and when I think of madness shared, I'm thinking, oh, he finna get with Harley Quinn. So maybe we could get a Harley Quinn in this Joker movie, or some other crazy ass villain, because whatever madness he's sharing.
Yeah, because I was just about to say, like, that's kind of been done. Like, that Harley Quinn shit starting to get repetitive too, though. Because like Harley Quinn had her own movie recently.
Yeah,
it's like you high-key gotta switch it up with the Joker character. If you're gonna keep giving us Joker, bro, you gotta keep throwing us with somebody, pair him with somebody different. Stop pairing him with Harley Quinn, or he going up against Batman. Does this nigga not fuck with anybody else in the city of Gotham? Does he not fuck with Calendar Man? Does he not fuck with Sean Cruddy, whatever his name is? It's other people in Gotham that he can fuck with. Even if it's not in the comics, just make the shit up. It don't
I'm
have
about
to
to
be
say
Batman.
make up a new character that
Yeah,
we.
because you seen in the movie that Batman or Bruce Wayne was young as hell. So Batman
Yeah.
should not be in this movie, bro. Batman should not be in it. So make somebody up to be the antagonist, bro. Make somebody up.
I wouldn't mind that shit.
So if they make somebody different, bro, I think I'll be
especially if you're not connecting it to anything,
No.
any other DC stuff. You can be as creative with this as you
Your
want. You
shit
can
was
make up a
too
whole
great
character.
to be a part of that mid. So definitely keep your shit separated for sure. Keep your shit separated for sure. Black Adam, I don't know how that movie's gonna be, but nah, Joker was definitely that was a hit, bro. That was one of the greatest movies of what was that 2019? That movie came out? Yeah, that was one of the greatest movies of 2019, bro. So leave
If
that.
it wasn't for
stuff.
Avengers Endgame, that would have been my movie of the year. Period. Point blank.
Damn, Endgame did come out that year. Yeah, but Joker was fire, bro. It's gonna be
honestly,
good, but I
of
just don't know
that
how it
decade,
stacks up.
Of the 2010s decade, that's one of the best movies of the decade. Honestly, like, and it came at the end of the decade.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's why I'm worried for it, because it's like it's not going to live up. Like it don't honestly, it doesn't matter what you do, it's not going to live up to the greatness that you had in Joker 1. And that's why everybody was so cool with it being a standalone. And they came into the movie process for Joker 1 like it's a standalone. We're not gonna make another one. They explicitly said that, and then here we are. They heard that money call and they said, "Oh, nah, actually, let me start writing this script. Y'all throwing the mills? All right, let me."
We got some meals. We got a couple Oscars off it. Hey, we can do this shit again. Nah.
Bro, I wouldn't be
Sometimes a
mad if
one
he
and done
crossed
is
it over
fine.
with the Robert Pattinson Batman. But like I said, Bruce
Yeah, that'd
Wayne
be
was
fine.
already Bruce Wayne is a kid in his storyline though. So the shit,
that ain't gonna work.
so the shit won't work. So you already showed us Bruce Wayne. If they
We don't
didn't
need
show
no
us
more
Bruce Wayne, you could have
multiverse
crossed
shit.
him.
We don't need
Yeah.
no more multiverse
Yeah,
shit.
don't give us no multiverse shit. Just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. But that would have been dope if they crossed Robert Pattinson and that Joker. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, you know what I'm saying? It's cool if you add somebody.
Damn,
else.
so if they never would have put that
That last scene.
that little last scene of how he influenced Bruce Wayne to want to be Batman, or if they never did that, they could have easily just segued him into the Robert Pattinson. And that would have been tough. That would have been tough against Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
Ooh,
That
and
would have
Robert
been
Pattinson-
fire.
Robert Pattinson's so dark as Bruce Wayne, so the twisted mind of the Joker versus a dark Bruce Wayne, that would have been tough.
But the thing about this Joker, he's not really to that level intelligence wise, where we've gotten to know him. Like he was still like that retarded dude, hockey, that mentally challenged dude for real. In this movie, he had to really overcome that. But you seen how maniacal that he could be. You know what I'm saying? But you just really seen the mental illness part. We really haven't seen how meticulous and how calculated he could be. So maybe in this movie, that's what he really starts to grow into that, into like the calculated dude. And we see how he got to that point. You know what I'm saying? So I think it could be something like that.
I'm excited for it, man. It ain't gonna be better than the first one, but I'm excited.
Yeah. And moving on, the Thunderbolts movie. Speaking of the Thunderbolts, I wanted to bring this up earlier. The movie is in development, so that group is going to be together. Like I said, Abomination, Yelena Belova, what's my man name, bro? He was in Civil War, the villain of Civil War. Wear the purple hat.
Civil War? Oh, talking about the dude who was trying to make the super soldiers.
Yeah. What's trying to make super
forgot his
soldiers?
name.
No, he's from Sokovia. He was in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, he was trying to make the super soldiers.
Okay, yeah.
Well, he wasn't trying to make the super soldiers, but he was
super soldiers.
He was at the place where the super soldiers were, and he killed them.
Baron Zemo. All of them are going to be a part of that Thunderbolts group, like Edgar mentioned earlier. Thunderbolt Ross, or the person that played Thaddeus Ross in that Thunder in the MCU, he has passed. But like I said, I think Val is going to be like the leader of that now. And you see the movie is still in development. They're in the early stages of that. And the upcoming movie and show reviews.
I just seen Everything Everywhere All at Once. Crazy ass movie. So we will definitely have that review coming for y'all soon. We just reviewed Miss Marvel episode 1. So be looking for that. What else? Thor Love and Thunder comes out next month. This month, Jurassic World part 3, that comes out this month, I think on the 15th. So we can have a review coming up for that. But keep a watch out, y'all. We got reviews coming out all summer.
Yes, sir. All right, bro. You can hit up with the social media.
You can follow us on Twitter at QE Podcast 1. You can follow us on Instagram at QANDE Podcast. You can follow and like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube at QAndSignE Podcast. And our Gmail is QANDEPodcast@gmail.com.
Yes, sir. And definitely subscribe to all of our podcast platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And definitely subscribe to our Q&E media page, which is QNEmedia.com. Our Instagram is QANDE Media, and our Twitter is QE Media. Like Eggert said, go ahead and subscribe to the Q&E Podcast channel. If you do not know, our visual podcast is on the Underdog Podcast. It will be linked below, but our reviews will still be on the Q&E Podcast, or the Miss Marvel ones will be dropping, Thor Love and Thunder, everywhere all the time. So definitely go ahead and subscribe. And we appreciate you guys for watching, and we out. Peace.